April 1st, 2026. Historians look at this specific 24-hour window as the moment the fluid instability of the early decade locked into place. The geopolitical and economic shifts that felt unpredictable just months prior reached a point of sudden, rigid consolidation. This wasn't a singular event, but a simultaneous hardening of four distinct pillars of power: finance, military strength, physical infrastructure, and global culture. To understand the current decade, we have to look at how power was consolidated across these four sectors in a single day. The first pillar is financial. OpenAI has closed a $122 billion funding round, reaching a valuation of $852 billion. This capital provides the bedrock for a massive expansion of global AI infrastructure. This is a breakdown of the funding sources. SoftBank led the round, but the largest commitment came from Amazon, $50 billion, much of it tied to future milestones. NVIDIA followed with its $30 billion stake in the company's equity. This chart compares OpenAI's current revenue against its operating costs. The company generates $2.6 billion a month from 50 million subscribers, yet it is on track to lose $14 billion in 2026 alone. This is the logic of the price-to-dream ratio. Investors are paying for the future possibility of artificial general intelligence, rather than present-day profits. Individual investors have contributed $3 billion to this round through banking channels, while Wall Street analysts are closely tracking what they call circular financing. This describes a loop where giants like Amazon and NVIDIA invest billions into OpenAI, which then uses that same capital to purchase chips and cloud services from those very same investors. With nearly $1 trillion in valuation, a private technology firm now commands the financial resources and infrastructural reach of a mid-sized nation. The second pillar is the state's military and judicial power. In the Middle East, President Trump has announced a plan to withdraw U.S. forces from the Iran conflict within 3 weeks, asserting that the primary nuclear threat has been neutralized. This withdrawal is paired with a threat to end U.S. membership in NATO, citing a lack of support from European allies. The resulting tension has fueled a global oil crisis and led Iranian forces to issue direct threats against 18 American technology firms. While international alliances are under pressure, individual states are hardening their internal judicial systems. The Israeli Knesset has passed the death penalty for terrorists law by a 62-48 vote. This diagram shows the law's two-tiered application. Palestinians tried in military courts now face a mandatory death penalty by hanging within 90 days, requiring only a simple majority of judges. Israeli citizens, however, are tried in civil courts, where judges retain the discretion to order life imprisonment instead. The decisive votes for the bill were cast by 2 Druze lawmakers, a move analysts describe as a repayment for Israel's military support of Druze minorities in Syria. This domestic vote has triggered widespread condemnation from the UN, the EU, and Turkey. Across the Middle East, the broad diplomatic efforts of the last decade are being replaced by localized, hardline state enforcement. The third pillar is the physical and digital infrastructure of the state. India has replaced its 1961 tax code with the Income Tax Act 2025, moving toward a more formalized, digitized economy. This ledger shows the specific shifts in the new tax law. Allowances for education and hostels have been increased to 3,000 and 9,000 rupees respectively, while tax-free meal vouchers are now capped at 200 rupees per meal. Claiming these benefits now requires stricter disclosures, such as providing a landlord's PAN for rent exemptions. This digital mandate is physically enforced on India's highways. The NHAI has ordered a 100% transition to cashless tolling across more than 1,150 plazas. The penalty structure is designed to eliminate cash entirely. Drivers attempting to use paper currency will be charged double the standard fee. Those using a digital UPI code instead of a FASTag will pay a 25% surcharge. This is paired with a one vehicle, one FASTag rule to ensure every car is uniquely tracked in the national database. Corporate leadership is mirroring this move toward rigid discipline. Willie Walsh, a veteran known for his hardline focus on operational efficiency, has been named the new CEO of Indigo as the airline expands its global network. From tax reporting to highway travel, these mandates are designed to bring 1 billion people into a state of trackable digital compliance. Even as political and military structures fragment, global culture continues to organize itself around high-stakes competition. Turkey has qualified for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, ending a 24-year drought with a 1-0 victory over Kosovo. At the same time, the FIDE Candidates Tournament in Cyprus is entering round 3, a structured battle for intellectual dominance governed by universal international protocols. These competitions show that while military alliances might fail, global standards for sports and intellect remain, one of the few areas where international rules are still strictly observed. A trillion-dollar AI company, a new capital punishment law, and a digital tax code for over 1 billion people. These events are not isolated. We have entered an era where private technology firms hold the capital of nations, and emerging economies have successfully mandated digital order. The systems governing money, infrastructure, and the law were hardened into their current form on April 1, 2026. This is the specific framework for the power structures of the late 2020s.